Hi, I'm Tom at Just One Pack, and today I'm playing Palace Heist, the latest version of Illumineer's Quest. Now, in Palace Heist, we are challenging Jafar, who has stolen the crown, and we're going to get it back and get to 20 lore before he gets to 40 lore. This can be played solo, which is what I'm going to do, and if you're familiar with Lorcana, this looks very similar. If you've never played a Illumineer's Quest before, there are a few things different. I'm just going to touch on them and then we're going to play. So this is the game board for the Palace Heist, and there's a few different things. You only quote unquote played the ordinary Lorcana against other people. This is completely different. If you have played the Illumineer's Quest before, some things here might be familiar. Now I'm going to go through everything and sort of get you acquainted with it. First up, this is my game board down here. This is a little bit squeezed, so I'm going to have my inkwell over here, my characters here, and my discard out here. This right now is my hand. I've just drawn 7 to set everything up. Now, this is the board. This chunky bit, this chunky bit is a real board game cardboard board. So it is quite big and it's quite nice, and I'm a bit cramped for space here, but I'm gonna do my best. All right. So let's go through everything. Up here is the reforged crown. Now the reforged crown, if I get up here, is what we are trying to steal. This chunky bit is just that. It's just a chunky bit. This is giving 2 lore every start of turn for whoever has this, and Jafar starts with it, has multiple ways of getting it back, so that would be a focus to steal that to our side, trying to get the 2 lore for free. Right. In the middle, of course, Jafar, the big baddie, and what you cannot see is just above Jafar is the Jafar's draw counter. It is set up so that in every start of the turn he draws 2 from the very beginning, but if his lore counter here gets to 20, he'll draw an extra, meaning 3 cards, unless something else changes that. You can't see it. I'm just going to say when we get to 20, we'll draw 3 cards for him. Up here is barely visible is the discard pile. This is the scenario deck. The scenario deck has a different card back from regular cards, as you can say. This is because these are special cards, just like in Deep Trouble with Ursa. The scenario deck goes there. That is Jafar's deck, and over here is the hand, where whenever Jafar draws cards, they go there. 2 more things. A few more things. This is the inkwell. Right now it's empty. He hasn't played any ink. Yeah, that is a special way he does that. It's the same way as in Illumineer's Quest before, but it's a special way in comparison with normal Lorcana. This is the location, and Jafar has locations. The specific, the tricky thing about locations in this setup is that Jafar's characters cannot go to these locations. However, I cannot steal the crown if there are locations in place. So I need to get rid of them in the ordinary way. Then there is Jafar's play area called the row, which we will solve every single time. And these boys, this is the battleground, and we are playing in Jafar's throne room, which is, if I can get it to focus on that for a change, that is the difficulty easy. That means that Jafar's characters enters play exerted, which is a huge bonus for us. There are some abilities that we as Illumineers get if we want to pay lore for them, and these are more beneficial than the others. This is easy. On the other side is normal, as you can tell right here. There is also a hard and an extreme. None of those is something I'm going to play. I'm not that good at the game, to be perfectly honest. Right. Finally, we have the law tracker, and there are bits in the box for tracking players' law on this. However, it gets a little bit tricky, and I'm afraid to bomb it. So, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to track Jafar's law with this cobra here, moving along the track, and I'm going to count my own law with these big chunky dice here. I'm going to put them over here so we can see them, but I'm going to track my own law. So that is it. This is my space and my hand of cards. Just drawn 7. And, well, I think we just have to start. Now, I know that I will make a ton of mistakes. I'll probably miss a trick or 5, play the wrong cards, all of that jazz. And you should feel free to tell me in the comments below whatever I did wrong, or if I made a bad choice. Just a note, this is one of the decks that comes standard in the box. So this is very much, you just buy this box and then you're off the races. Right. So the game starts with Jafar having his turn and trying to get to 40 law and having the reforged crown. The thing is, if he gets to 40, he automatically steals the crown, so that doesn't matter. We have to get away from him before then. Also, I only have to get to 20 law in order to win, but I have to have the crown as well. So that's set up. Let's start digging into it. Jafar has the first turn, as I said, so he's going to draw 2 cards, and we do that by placing 2 cards in his hand and then resolving them. Now, first up, a mechanical snake. It has cost 0. It has nothing in his inkwell, so all that is going to do is enter his row. Now, remember, Jafar's characters comes in exerted. This is not a character, so it just sits here and has seized the crown. When Jafar plays this item, he steals the reforged crown. Well, he already has it, so it doesn't matter. The second card is Basil, and Basil costs a single law. He has none, and here's the special thing. That is really annoying. This is the special thing about his ink, is that whenever there's a character he cannot play, it simply turns into ink. As easy as that. That is really, really fucking annoying, isn't it? So, all that done, start his turn. I forgot that already. He gets 2 law, so he's already off to the races, right? And then it's my turn. So, I'll take my hand and look through it. I can still discard and all that, but I'm just going to play with what I've got. And I draw a card. This functions exactly like a normal round of Lorcana. Only thing is that I can be reasonably sure that Jafar will never attack me. He will always quest with his character unless they specifically says otherwise. Now I won't get something out so I can steal the crown. The way I steal the crown is I exert one of my characters. Instead of questing, instead of challenging, I just get the crown. So what do I want here? I'm going to play, I'm going to ink Rhino, and I don't have any 1 costs, so that will just end my turn. Oh, there we go. And I leave it up to Jafar. Now, in the beginning of Jafar's turn, he gets 2 law. That is not nice. And then he exerts and banishes this item, and he gains 2 more law. Now, you can already see how that might be problematic for me at some point, right? Having him doing that, being at 6 law in his second turn, right? The row has been exerted, has been depleted. So we just go and draw his 2 cards for hand and play the first one. Now, I mentioned there were locations. This is his location, the Royal Armory. It costs 2, which is great because he doesn't have to ink. So what will happen with this is that it will be inked. However, quick notice on this, you know what, I can challenge this or remove it in any way as you usually would, but the movement location is crossed out because they cannot move there. Anyway, that goes into his inkwell, and I look at the second card. It's a single cost Basil. Well, he gets to be played into the row and exerted, since that's the whole deal with Jafar Throne. That leaves the turn to me. I draw a card, and let's see what we get here. Now, I am going to... I've got a draw Pluto. There's... Alright, we might save this one. Now, what do I want to play? What do I want to ink? Now, I want to keep small characters in here so I can actually get something out, get questing, stealing the forced crown, stuff like that. So I'm going to... he's so good. I am going to ink Pluto and probably regret it in a bit, but I have now 2 inks, and for those 2 inks I am going to insert them and play Aquila, Wolfpack Elder. Now, the only thing he's good for right now is to sit here and watch what's going on, because he is still drying up. Leave the turn to Jafar again. Now, at the beginning of his turn, at the start of his turn, he gains 2 ink because he still has the... 2 law, because he still has the crown, and Rivetti Basil here. And then we go through the row. Basil exerts, giving a single law, and then he draws his hand at 2. Let's see what he gets. This is Iago. He's a 4 cost, and he only has 2, so he can't play Iago. So that goes there. He now has 3 law. And this... oh, skipped. That was incredible. A 0 cost mechanical snake just goes into the row. Nothing more happens for this turn. Alright. Now, Aquila's ready. My sources are ready. I'm going to draw a card and hopefully get something good. Trusty, the Loyal Bloodhound. That's not entirely bad, is it? He has support, so when he quests, he sort of puts a little extra. Now, I'm going to ink something. He's quite good. What do I want to ink? I don't want to ink Trusty just yet, because I want the support to get rid of stuff, right? Maybe Simba is the right one. Face to pass during your turn. Whenever this character banishes another character, you may draw a card. That would be really nice too, though. Oh, that is always the hard decision. So any game with cards, any card is a resource, has this decision in the very beginning of their turns. You know what? It's going to be Simba. Simba goes there. I don't know if that was the best choice, but he's going there. And then I am going to pay 2 to play Doc Bold Knight. When you play this character, you may discard your hand and draw 2 cards. Well, I am not going to do that. What I am going to do is exhaust Aquila to steal the crown. So now the crown is mine. So unless Jafar is stealing it back in next turn, having this one over here means that I go up 2. So that will be my first law. Anyway, that was my turn. Back to Jafar. Now at the beginning of Jafar's turn, not having the crown, not going out. However, this readies, and then we resolve this. He quests for 1, getting him to 10, and this one we exert and banish, and he gains 2 law. So that one is banished. He's at 12. This might be a short game. Anyway, let's go. 2 cards here, and let's see what he gets. This is a 5-cost Abu. He's a 6/6. Luckily, he only has 3, so that goes there. And this is a 3-cost destructive misstep. It's an action. He has 4, so we'll play that. Jafar's location loses ward until the start of next turn. Doesn't matter. Illumineers may choose and banish up to 1 of Jafar's location, which would be great, except there are no locations. So to the discard with that is just back to me. All right, I ready everything up, and the start of my turn, I get my very first piece of law. All right, draw a card. Let's see. I got Monterey Jack. What do I want to do now? I can. He's a 0/7, but he quests for 2. That's not bad. I want to get rid of Basil up there, right? But that will cost me a Keeler if I go for him. But I slow his ascent down. Oh, by the way, 2. Ooh, that would have been harsh. So what do I want to? Only quest for 1. You know what? We are going to be bold. We are doing that. Then we're exerting all 4 of these to pay Monterey Jack, questing a little bit on the way. Now, do I want to get rid of that? He's not making a lot right now, but it is dangerous to have something in the road that you cannot get rid of. And I can quest for 1. So what I'm going to do is I am going to quest with Duck, the Bold Knight, going up to 3 law, and he's still drawing, and I'm going to challenge Aquila against. I'm going to challenge Basil with Aquila, dealing 3 damage to him, receiving 3 damage. Both of them die, so discard and discard, and that was my turn. Back to Jafar. Now, no crown, no cards. This is what we like. We're just going to go straight to drawing cards, and this is the really icky part. Well, there you go. A 3-cost Latin with evasive. That is not good. Anywho, he has 4. He only costs 3. He enters exerted. Let's see what the next one is. This is a 4. This is a Sultan. Spectral ruler. He costs 4. There are 4. Now the Sultan has a pay fealty, as when Jafar plays this card, this character, each Illumineer chooses and discards a card. Oh boy. Okay, fine. Not what I hoped for. What will I discard? Now this one is I'm tempted to discard this one. The reason is that I'm not very good at singing. Not in general, but not in the game either. But getting 3 cards for discard in my hand is not bad. Bolt has shift 3. That doesn't matter. No, it's going to be this one. I discard. Beyond the Horizon. I'm going to keep the rest of these. Alright, that was his turn. Now it's mine. What happens first is the Reforged Crown over here gets me up to 5 law. There we go. And then I am readying everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Law ready. I have 4 inks. And what did I draw? I drew an amber chromican? I don't know. Now, I really want to get rid of some of these, but it's not going to be easy. And whoever I send out of these is going to get ruffled up. Now, I can't attack any of these this turn. I really want to get rid of the Sultan, but I can't really do that. However, I can put something into... I'm going to do the Amber Chromicon again. Feeling a bit crappy about it. None of my cards have... evasive, so I can't attack in Latin. But I'm going to pay all 5 of these. Ooh, yep, that's all good. I'm going to pay for all 5 of these and play Bolt. And Bolt, he says, well, he has 2 things. I can, whenever you ready this character, you gain 1 law for each other undamaged character you have in play. That is really, really strong. Also, I can tap him and banish a chosen character, illusion character. And both of these are illusion characters, so that might be interesting to get rid of something like the Sultan, right? Anyway, other than that, I'm just going to exert these 2, gain 3 more law. That's 1, 2, 3 more law, and I am at 8. So I'm gaining on him, but not for long. This one is really important to get your hands on the Reforged Crown. Anyway, back to Jafar. Everything readies. There's a slight etch here, meaning I can't do that. There we go. Everything readies. Everything exerts. At some point, you're going to get tired of doing that. But he moves up 3 to 15. Oof, getting real close. Drawing his hand. Let's see what he gets to play. A 6-cost Cataclysmic Cyclone. Good thing, because he has only 4, so we'll not be seeing that one again. Please be something I want to get rid of that he can play. Nope. Oh, man. Ink mode. So this is a location. It has 5 in defense. Can we get? So as you can see, the cost is 0, so you can play it, and the movement cost, I think, is over. So ink mode goes up there. It doesn't do much other than I can't steal the crown as long as it's there, so I might want to get rid of it. Yeah. So that was his turn. Back to me. Everything readies. The Reforged Crown makes me get 4. I'm now at 10. I'm not that confident yet. This gets really out of hand soon because he has a lot of ink ready, right? So I drew a Healing Touch, which is nice. Remove up to 4 damage from character. Now what do I want? So I'm going to keep this one because at some point I want to heal someone, right? Which one of these do I want to ink? Because only having 5 ink is not quite where I want to be at before I stop playing ink. This character has no damage. It has resist 2. Not bad. That could be really good if it had evasive. And that puts 2 more. That actually means the ball could remove that one up there when he quests. So let's... I don't want to ink any of these. That's the thing. Sorry, I don't want to ink any of these cards. Man, okay. You know what? I'm going to ink Trusty, sorry, not Rusty. And then I'm going to play for 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to play Dr. Calico. Right. Now, he can quest for 2, or I can just tap him, not challenge anyone, just banish the Sultan because he's an illusion character. So he goes away. That is so awesome. And then I'm going to quest for 3, meaning this one moves to 6, and I get a single more. 13. We're getting there. Not quite as fast as Jafar in a bit, I'm afraid, but I've played this once before with the other deck. So there are 2 decks in this. I played it once before with the other deck, and I did not win. So anyway, ready everything here, and exert anything here for questing, moving him to 16. We're getting awfully close to the 20. 2 cards drawn. Let's see what he gets. First, he gets the Treasure Guardian. Illumineers can't use battleground abilities. These are abilities. Alright. He only quests for 1, so it might not be that bad. And what is the second one? A Jafar, Spectral Sorcerer. Return to me. When Jafar plays the character, he plays all items named Mechanical Snake from his discard for free. Oh, not good. Luckily, he doesn't have that, because they're banished to his discard, not entirely, right? So if he plays those 2, bloody hell. So banish them from his discard back to Mechanical Snake. See, that's the thing when you play loads of TCGs, right? Banish means something different. Anyway, banish of course means to his discard. So 2 of those. That is not good. That means that even if we get rid of all of these other things, he is going to get to 20 lore. He's going to get to draw 3 cards next turn. We really don't want that. Anyway, that's the way it is. His turn is done. It's my turn. Ready everything up and draw a card. Please let me draw something. Oh, I've got Pluto. Again, I've got Pluto. Now, what do we want to do? Now, I'm at 13. I can quest for 6 here. The question is, if I were to play Pluto, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I'm almost done, right? I only need to get to 20, and I am at 13, so I need to have 7, and out here is 6. Can I, if I quest with everything here, can I get there before he gets to 40? I think I can. You know what? I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to pay all of these to play Pluto. Oh my, can you imagine if I... Ooh, I forgot this one. I still have the crown. Having the crown means I move there. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Getting me 6 more lore. 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21. We have beaten Jafar right at the brink of him taking off. We did it. We've beaten him. We stole the crown from Jafar, and we got to 20 lore before he got to 40, stealing back the crown. Now, this was the first playthrough of Palace Heist. I might do one at normal level. Maybe you want to tell me in the comments what I did horribly wrong and what decisions I should have made differently, so that I won't be butchered when I try at normal level. Also, there's of course Deep Trouble and loads of other content about this and other games on here. So give me a like and follow if you like this, the pack openings, the podcast, anything like that. And I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.